Inflation in the United States appears to have peaked, but we're not out of the woods yet. The battle to rein in surging price growth could mean a difficult 2 years for job seekers, a sharp turn away from the power they enjoyed during the Great Resignation. To combat inflation, a high unemployment rate will be necessary. In most cases, inflation is inversely related to unemployment. The rule is that when unemployment falls, inflation rises, and when unemployment rises, inflation falls. Well, the opposite has happened. Last month, the red-hot labor market added 263,000 new jobs, despite the Federal Reserve's effort to cool spending through interest rate hikes. The good news is that we are still near full employment, which means that almost everyone who wants a job can find one. However, in a high inflationary environment, this is also the bad news. With a strong jobs report, the Federal Reserve is almost certain to continue raising interest rates and using other tools to slow the economy and bring inflation down. However, as the Fed continues to raise interest rates, fewer jobs are expected to be added in the coming months, and the number of jobless claims is expected to rise as recessions become a more likely scenario. According to Furman's calculations, the U.S. would need an average unemployment rate of about 6.5% in 23 and 24 to meet its 2% inflation target. While the unemployment rate in August was around 3.7%, and depending on the labor market or other supply-related factors, the outlook could be more painful. Job losses may be required to bring inflation down. In addition to the Fed's aggressive anti-inflationary efforts, the labor market will cool slightly on its own, with job openings falling to 2/3 of their pre-pandemic levels. We can also expect that inflation will return to pre-COVID peaks and that gas prices will eventually fall again. That means many people will be laid off over the next year and a half, in addition to continued price increases and high borrowing costs. Why not 3% rather than 2%? A lot are suggesting, though, that the Fed should lower its economic expectations, such as aiming for 3% inflation rate rather than 2% one. I mean, there are no 10 commandments of economics stating that a 2% inflation rate is desirable. Some positive but low inflation is preferable to zero due to well-known overstatement biases in price indexes. But debating 2 or 3% is like debating how many angles can fit in a pinhead. What is more important is a low inflation rate that governs fiscal and monetary policy. Note that recent government spending that began with Obama continued with Trump and has accelerated significantly under Biden. Rather than embracing a 3% inflation rate in perpetuity, I believe we should reconsider why inflation is beneficial and who really benefits from it. It's certainly not voters or other citizens for sure. The idea is that if people are aware that there is a standard inflation rate, they will be more likely to purchase products sooner. I think in order for citizens to feel more secure, then their financial plan won't be ruined by their government's addiction to overspending and careless monetary management. A monetary policy that protects savings would be needed. It will take a long time to reach 6.5% unemployment. The Fed will need to kill a lot of private sector demand in order to eliminate 11 million vacancies that exist today and create that additional vacancies required to reach its target unemployment rate of 6.5 to 7%. The best way out of this is a mess. Eliminating the demand created by an overburdened federal government that would actually free up the labor required to grow the economy and reduce the size of the money supply. But we all know it's also the least likely scenario. Well guys, thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And nonetheless, hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button for me, and if you didn't like it, go ahead and hit it anyway. And I'll see you in the next video.